Have you ever checked into a hotel after a long day of traveling, stepped into the bathroom and noticed that the end of the toilet paper had been folded into a neat little triangle? It's such a tiny detail that most people barely think about it, yet somehow it makes the room feel cleaner, more organized, and strangely more welcoming. Hotels around the world spend time doing this every single day, even though it serves no obvious purpose at first glance. So why has this small ritual survived for decades, and what does it actually mean? Today, we're uncovering the surprising story behind one of hospitality's smallest but most recognizable traditions, right here, on History of Simple Things. Long before luxury hotels competed over premium mattresses, scented lobbies, and personalized welcome gifts, cleanliness was already one of the industry's biggest selling points. Travelers often had no way of knowing how carefully a room had been prepared before they arrived, so hotels relied on visual cues to communicate quality. Freshly made beds, polished faucets, neatly arranged towels, and organized toiletries all helped reassure guests that someone had thoroughly cleaned the room. These details weren't just decorative, they quietly built confidence. Even today, many of these traditions remain because guests often judge a room within seconds of opening the door, and those first impressions can strongly influence how comfortable they feel throughout their stay. One small detail eventually joined that collection of visual signals: the folded end of the toilet paper roll. Unlike a decorative towel animal, which is mostly associated with upscale resorts or cruise ships, the folded toilet paper became common across hotels of many different price ranges. It requires almost no extra supplies, takes only a few seconds to complete, and immediately catches the eye because it transforms an everyday object into something that appears freshly prepared. Although there is no international hotel standard requiring this fold, the practice gradually spread through housekeeping training because it consistently helped create the impression of care and attention that hotels wanted every guest to notice. The fold also carries a practical meaning behind its appearance. Once a housekeeper has finished cleaning and disinfecting the bathroom, folding the first sheet provides a simple indication that the roll was left untouched afterward. It doesn't prove the bathroom is sterile, nor does it function as a security seal, but it signals that the room has completed its cleaning process. If someone were to use the toilet paper afterward, the fold would naturally disappear. This makes the triangle a subtle visual checkpoint for both guests and hotel staff. While it offers no guarantee against every possibility, it communicates that the room reached its final stage of preparation before being presented to the next occupant. There is also an important psychological effect at work. Human beings naturally notice order and symmetry, especially in unfamiliar environments. Small signs of organization often lead people to believe that greater care has been taken overall, even if those details have little direct impact on cleanliness itself. Hospitality experts have long understood that guest satisfaction depends not only on actual service, but also on how that service is perceived. A carefully folded toilet paper corner works alongside crisp bed linens, evenly placed pillows, spotless mirrors, and neatly aligned toiletries to reinforce the feeling that every part of the room has been prepared with intention. The fold becomes part of a larger visual language that communicates professionalism without saying a single word. Interestingly, not every hotel follows this tradition today. Some independent hotels skip the fold entirely, while others have adopted different presentation styles based on their housekeeping procedures. Environmental initiatives have also changed certain practices within the hospitality industry. As hotels work to reduce unnecessary labor and improve efficiency, some focus their staff's time on deeper cleaning rather than decorative finishing touches. During periods of heightened health awareness, particularly after the COVID-19 pandemic, some guests even became more conscious about minimizing contact with frequently touched surfaces. As a result, the folded toilet paper remains common, but it is no longer viewed as an essential feature of every professionally cleaned room. The tradition has lasted because it succeeds at something surprisingly valuable, creating reassurance through consistency. Hotels are built around trust. Guests sleep in rooms previously occupied by strangers, relying on staff they have never met to prepare the space properly. Every visible sign of care helps strengthen that trust, even when the action itself is simple. The folded corner is inexpensive, quick, and easy for housekeepers to perform, yet it contributes to the overall experience in a memorable way. Many guests may never consciously think about it, but if the room appears thoughtfully arranged from top to bottom, they are more likely to feel comfortable, relaxed, and confident that the hotel pays attention to details. In the end, the folded end of a hotel toilet paper roll isn't about making the paper easier to use or adding unnecessary decoration. It's a quiet symbol of hospitality, a small finishing touch that tells guests the room has been carefully prepared before their arrival. While there is no universal rule requiring hotels to do it, the practice has endured because it blends practicality with perception in a remarkably effective way. It reminds us that some of the most familiar traditions aren't driven by technology or complicated systems, but by thoughtful habits that make people feel welcome. Sometimes the smallest details leave the strongest impression. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.